Hello everyone. In this demo, we'll be taking a look at how to make a Chrome plugin communicate with Google Gemini's API. Earlier, we had generated a Chrome plugin using Claude and we had created a Tetris game out of it where we were extracting words from a web page and using them as blocks for playing Tetris. This time we want our plugin to interact with Google Gemini, and there's not much that we can do with a Tetris game, and not a lot of insights that we can use the Gemini LLM for, as it's just individual words over here. But we could create a crossword puzzle game. So we use the same word extractor logic to extract words from the web page, and we'll use the Gemini LLM to create hints. So there's two things. There's the code generation, which would be done by the Claude LLM. Our plugin would extract words from the web page, and we'll use Gemini LLM to generate hints for those words. So let's look at the various attempts. In the first attempt, I asked the Claude LLM to just create a basic crossword puzzle and not to worry about hints at this stage. And these were the files generated. And you can see a basic crossword puzzle over here where we are extracting words from this page and using them as the crossword words. You can see that the portions of the grid where there are no words are a bit non-uniform, and we'll try to fix that using Claude. And we also need to add a hint generator which will make use of Google Gemini. So both these points were raised with Claude, and so the first we asked it to fix the non-uniformity of the grid, and then I also asked it how to use Google's Gemini API. And as you can see, it generated a config.js file where there's an option to input the Gemini API key. So this is the Google AI Studio webpage where it gives instructions on how to use a Gemini API key. And this is basically free for developers, and I logged in using my Gmail account and created a free tier version, and you can see that there is the API key over here which I used in the config.js file. So I manually updated the config.js file and also updated the API endpoint because these endpoints tend to change, and Claude had used an older endpoint over here. And this is the hint generator that we are using to interact with the Gemini API. So this was generated by Claude, and as you can see, we are passing a prompt to Gemini where we ask it to generate one concise clever hint or clue for each of the words that we present from the crossword puzzle. This is just a list of the generated files that will be used in the plugin. There were a couple of issues initially. There were a few unrecognized characters. As you can see, there are a few question marks over here. My guess was that this was coming from the presence of text which is not really English. So I asked the LLM to fix that, and what I suggested it was to ignore any words which do not get a hint from Gemini. So we can ignore those words in the final crossword puzzle. And secondly, there was also a concatenation bug. As you can see, there is one column which says branches standard. So initially the crossword generation logic was not taking care of this kind of concatenation issues. So I asked both of these, I asked Claude to make both of these changes, the concatenation bug and the undefined characters bug. So it was able to fix that. And finally, I tried to add transparency on the plugin in the background, and there was quite a bit of back and forth with the Claude prompt about fixing the transparency, but as you can see, there is not really a transparency present over here, but it's just showing white grid cells. So after a bit of back and forth, Claude responded saying that it's not really possible to add a transparent window mode to Chrome extension plugins. And I kind of verified this on Stack Overflow. This is a very old post, but there are newer posts as well which suggest that you can't really have a transparent pop-up window for Chrome extensions. And what you can do instead is mimic by having a screenshot of the web page to kind of simulate the transparency. And Claude actually did that on its own, and you can see the final look of the plugin. And we used this crossword puzzle on Google's homepage, and you can see that the Google homepage is seen in the background, but that's a screenshot. And there's a using a screenshot has limitations. You can't really scroll the web page, and it will be like a static display. And yeah, so you can see the final crossword puzzle, and you can guess that it extracted the words from Google's homepage, and one of the word is business. And we asked Gemini to give us hints for this, and you can see the hint is kind of funny. It says "mind your own," which is generally a phrase we use before business. This is just a list of the Git logs which show the trial and errors and the debugging that I did while trying to create this plugin using Claude. So you can see there was a version where we added a scoring system, there's a version where we fixed the concatenation bug, and so on. With this, let us do a brief demo of the plugin. You can see that my Chrome extensions web page has the list of the 2 plugins I created, but I'll end the slideshow and go to a demo. So let's try to open the plugin on the Wikipedia page for philosophy. As you can see, it's trying to create a new puzzle, and it was able to do that. Let's try to look at some hints. So it says almost there but not quite in the hint, so it's probably the word nearly. You see it, we have a scoring system as well, and we got 60 points. And let's look at some other words. This one says Lion King, continent, diverse cultures. Is it African by any chance? Yeah, so it was correct, right? So it's also possible to just look at all the solutions and see all the hints, right? So you can see all the hints here. We also have the option to change the background instead of the screenshot background. We can have the very traditional background here. And it's also possible to change the size of the board. So let's try to make it a larger board, and we create a new puzzle, right? So it created a puzzle with more number of words, right? And let's try to open this plugin on another page, namely the Google homepage. So yeah, let's try to create a small page, right? So yeah, so the hints can be sometimes very interesting. For Google, it is calling it the internet's memory palace. So that's it for the demo. And Hope you enjoyed it. So what we did was we used Claude to generate all the code, and our plugin extracts words that are present on a given web page. It creates a crossword puzzle, and the hints are generated by interacting with uh, Google's Gemini API. That's it for the demo. Thank you for joining.